Yes, we are live.
Hello! Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Thanks for Playing Kingmaker, the show where things happen sometimes. You know, I usually,
Sometimes is a really strong word.
I started that as a joke, and now I've just said it like every time, and I think that's just the tagline now. It's like, thanks for playing the show where things happen sometimes.
And every time you say it, I want to say emphasis on the sometime.
I mean, you right. Right. Now, as y'all may notice, we have a familiar face. He's back.
Yay!
It's Husbando. It is the Main.
Yes.
Me?
Yeah. You've missed so much.
So much.
Almost none of which I've told you about.
Player count.
I said almost none of which I've told you about. So all of your reactions will be so authentic.
Yeah.
You have as much clue as Main does. And a cat. There you go. So, when we last left off, things had in fact happened. Wow. Including a trap hex. Wow.
We hate bear
Where none of the
traps
players died. Where none of the players died. And then they tried to, wow. And then they negotiated. Wow. Not very well.
No.
Wow.
And, but they got money for it. That's fine. There's monies. And then they went the fuck to sleep. Isn't that great? Not nice. So, not nice. They took a sleep. Huzzah. So, that's where we're gonna start. It's the next fucking morning. The sun rises. And let's go. Sunrise.
Spawn, what are you doing?
So Sakura would probably be up very early in the morning. Still helping with breakfast because there's not a lot to do very early in the morning and it's health service center. So
I got a lot of requests. You do not help her this morning.
okay. Then she will wander around the ramparts.
Grokon will get up, and I assume that Kessin and the guys work out in some form or fashion. Do some weapons training.
They pump that iron, you right.
I will participate.
They do them lunges.
Oh, there's lunges aplenty.
Look at them legs.
They're
Look
amazing.
at dim legs. They're amazing. They got nice legs.
I believe it.
I love to imagine it's deep winter at some point. They're just wearing ranger panties.
Fitting. Feels
Isn't
very fitting.
Doesn't it, though? For those civilians at home, those are very short shorts. Let's go with that.
Worn by the manliest of men in the military.
But they're so short.
But they're so comfortable.
True. They're kind of similar to I know some of the ladies in the audience might know this. They're kind of similar to Sophies. Or Sophies, but Sophies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to nod like I know what that means.
Fine.
Those are also short shorts. They were very popular in high school for me.
Yep. Ditto.
It's kind of like wearing Dickies pants. Like, you say you got a pair of Dickies. Maybe it's a Texas thing. Is it a Texas thing?
That feels right.
Is it a Texas thing, you guys?
It's a southern thing.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I'll take Southern. I'm like, it's...
Yay, North. We won the war. All right.
Yay, South. We're blatant about our racism.
Well,
I'm not wrong.
No, you're not.
The North is real polite about it.
Thanks for playing Political Edition. Let's go.
So the South at least is blatant about it. The North is like, no, we don't think like that. We just, stop being racist. Anyway, back to our regularly scheduled programming.
Slate will wake up at some point. Whenever, I don't know. Usually before whenever Kana would. And go through his book and look back at the last page, or that his communication page, or their communication page, and
his pen pal page.
his pen pal page, yeah. And he'll he'll write something out real quick
Ooh.
before closing it up and going out
Ooh.
for the day. I'll send it to you in a bit.
I
But
look forward to that. Ooh. All right.
Writing me letters already. I understand.
You're not a fairy, I don't think.
Well, depends on how he's feeling that morning.
I have seen someone, maybe in character, maybe not, do a little flouncing once in a while.
Spot.
She's involved, yes.
She flounces a lot.
Anyway.
Don't act like it's the cat. It's bad form to push off what's actually you onto something else. All right,
Anyway,
to breakfast.
to breakfast. It is dependent on the person, both pleasantly or perhaps for some people unpleasantly peaceful at breakfast nowadays. Now that there's, y'all,
Yeah.
and not all y'all.
all y'all, yeah.
So many y'all. So, depending on how you feel about that, it might be good, it might be terrible. That is up to you as an individual. I'm not gonna tell you what to do.
Socorro will grab a bowl, whatever is for breakfast, and go and join Grokon and Slate wherever they're sitting. So, what's the plan?
I'm assuming going out and looking at more hexes.
Exploring more of the untamed.
I think the next step is the plains to the west on the other side of the woods there. That hex or that area we just cleared out at the northern part of the woods. And hope that Maine gets back soon. But at some point, we're gonna have to answer the threat. I mean, the gauntlet's kind of been thrown. At some point, we have to hunt down these bandits and either convince them to lay down their arms or put them down. We don't really have much of a choice here.
No, we don't. Socorro is going to look over, trying to see if she can spot where Haps is.
He is currently working out with the guards.
Yeah,
Protein. Yeah, he's currently out there, so no, that's outside the wall. You cannot see him.
She will keep an eye out for him because if we're all eating breakfast, they're gonna come in soon eventually, and she'll try to catch him before he leaves to go do whatever he does.
Okay.
I too want to talk to Haps at some point. Kind of got to let him know I signed a charter to stick around.
Fair enough.
So I need to, at least be upfront with the information.
Probably halfway through y'all's breakfast, they come in. Keston takes his up on the wall, so we can continue watching. It's breezy up there in those short shorts. But he'll change afterwards.
So as they're eating, how long do you think it would take for us to explore the plains to the west? Obviously, quite a few days, but
Based on what we did to the east and what the size of the map shows, 2 weeks, at least. Maybe 3.
And would we be taking the wagons this time? Since it's a longer journey in the plains, it probably would be wiser.
We could circumvent the forest by going around it to the north potentially and avoid any issues. As there isn't a road or improved service.
That could work. Especially don't want to go back through that part of the woods again. Still.
Grokon looks down at his leg. That's fair.
When they see the others come in, she's gonna try getting Hap's attention, raising her arm. Haps?
He just scowls at you and walks over.
I wanted to talk to you.
Grokon will give you a quizzical look too.
So it's like,
It can't wait until after breakfast.
If you want to grab a bowl and sit down with
You
us.
don't even finish and he's already walking away.
I figured as much.
Had to see that one coming. Grokon just kind of chuckles.
Not that I blame him. Probably not his favorite person in the world.
I mean, he did lose to you guys. Losing doesn't feel good to anybody.
No. Maybe you could ask him then.
What do you want to know?
If he has any other information he's willing to share about the Stag Lord or the bandits in general, anything, any information would be good. He gave us some when we spoke to him last, but I'm hoping maybe with Colin's death and how he arrived, maybe he'd be a little bit more forthcoming with more, if there is more.
From what Colin told us while we were out at Silcala, or what he told me while we were out at Silcala, it seems fairly fragmented, but it's worth the question. So I would probably be best suited to do it without us being in a group. Hap seems a little more relaxed when we're one-on-one.
That's fair enough. I mean, again, I know I'm not his favorite person. It would probably be better coming from you. Thank you.
Okay. I can do that.
And then I'll see if I can get some more supplies from Lana. And I would like to see, prepare us for the road.
Sounds good.
Did we want to move out today, or did we want to rest one more night?
I feel pretty good. It's late.
I mean, I didn't step any traps.
Thank you for the reminder.
You really carried the
welcome.
party that session.
Jake's gonna kill somebody.
Just the first enemy Rowan puts in front of us. It's gonna be like,
That's assuming I put an enemy in front of you.
God. I'm all right.
You
I'm
good?
all right.
You good?
I'm good. I'm good.
You good?
I'm good. Yeah.
Okay. Just making
I'm
sure.
good.
Yeah, you're good. It's gonna be a nice
So
heavy
good.
roleplay day.
So
No
good.
combats whatsoever. It's gonna be great.
Yes.
So
32
good.
hours, one combat. Love it. Let's do it.
Oh shit. Love it. Love doing this.
All right.
Mm. So, Haps will return with his bowl of oatmeal. Looking expectant.
Have a seat, Haps.
He does.
I'll kind of look at the other two.
So Cora will take that as a subtle hit to finish her meal quickly and head off.
Slate will finish his as well and pick up his book and walk away. We'll go check out the guys. Because why not?
Check out or check out?
Check out.
Yes.
How was it while we were gone the last week and a half?
Boring as shit.
How are they treating you around here?
I think we've mostly come to an understanding.
Good. Good. You're not a pack mule to be treated like shit.
I appreciate that.
Well, you haven't tried to kill us yet, so I can at least respect that restraint.
Can't say I haven't been tempted.
He'll lean in real close. I get it.
Well, I like you.
Perhaps I've served on ships with guys a lot rougher than you are.
I believe it.
I've been punched by a few of them too. Sometimes people just need it. And people like you sometimes just have to be the people that do it. And there's nothing wrong with that. Well, I mean, if you kill them, there's a little bit wrong with that, but you get my point. I want you to know that the expedition east is delayed, potentially indefinitely. I got asked to assist in taming and settling this region. And it's going to give me reason to stick around a little bit longer. And I know we talked about an opportunity for you to go with me, and I'm telling you that that status quo has changed. I'd rather be upfront with you about it so that you can make decisions that make the most sense for you.
Be an opportunity here.
Yeah? What are you thinking?
Oh, I don't do the thinking. That's part of the understanding.
Sounds like something Keston would say.
I haven't earned the right to be a thinker.
That's a waste of talent.
Glad you agree.
We need people like you, people who have a survival instinct. Whether or not you agree with what's being done to you around here, you continue to adapt in a manner that allows you to continue to survive. So I look at it this way. Your reputation and behavior may not necessarily jive with the fine folk of Brevoy to the north. Your former companions who have settled east of us here now didn't seem to like you all that much either.
Really
Weird
blame him
thing
for
is-
that?
Yeah, that's fair. It's fair. I mean, what you guys were doing before you were subdued, I can understand why they may not be thrilled. But you're not an idiot, and you're an opportunist. And there's good use for people like that. So I'll give you this proposition. Help us take down this bandit hierarchy that we have here in the Stolen Lands. I'm not saying you have to actively go participate unless you want to. Information, keeping your head down, helping build any sort of settlement or community that we work towards. And I'll make sure, assuming I don't die in the process, that you do have an opportunity to pursue something that you see as a legitimately good opportunity.
I'm bet.
Say that again.
He said that's a gambler's bet. Sorry. I may have pronounced it debt by accident. He's saying that's a gambler's bet.
Everything we're doing down here is a gambler's bet. Do you want to go to Numeria? Do you want to go down to Gaul? Do you want to go to Brevoy? What do you want to do? Where are you going to go?
Oh, that wasn't a complaint.
Ah, well, good. Good. I need some help, man.
All right. What can I do for you?
I mean, you saw what happened to Colin.
Did. Nasty bit of work, that.
I'm not going to ask you to leave these four walls until you feel safe to do so. Because that was clearly some shenanigans, and I can only assume they'll do dramatically worse to you since you're the leader who failed to get it done.
Yeah. I've seen a bit of nasty work here and there with them. Nothing quite that, ostentatious.
That's
But
an
I hear
appropriate
things.
word for that.
But I hear things.
What are we getting into here?
Straight with you. I never had the pleasure of meeting the big boss. He didn't really like to sully his fingers with the likes of us. But word got passed down from on high, you see. And it's amazing what a little pillow talk can do. He fancies himself king of the land. Thinks that no one, no man, no god, has a better claim than he does. Swears the land whispers to him. Sounds crazy to me. But what do I know?
How familiar are you with the Fae?
He just spits on the ground and says, more than enough.
There are enough tears in the plane here that we've observed while traveling for me to be willing to believe that something may, in fact, speak to him. My experiences with the similar situation in the Grungnir Forest in my homeland. I know for a fact that the druids there do, in fact, interact with the First World. So he may not be lying there, but that doesn't mean that it's a benevolent influence.
So doesn't mean he's not off his fucking rocker.
Also true, but a man who believes it is as valid as a man that actually has it.
Enough. I know Cressel's seen him once or twice. At least. She wouldn't tell much more, seemed very private about that. She's not a private lady, to say the least. Not much of a lady, either. But I did, again, no complaints. But she swore she's seen him. She knows him. She talks about him like he's the second coming of Aradin. How he's going to transform the land, make it bountiful again. I don't know why again. Sounds pretty bountiful to me. But, nonetheless, she says he's going to overtake these lands, transform them anew, and then rise up to the north, take those lands as well. I think that's a fine way to die.
I mean, I think you as a planner and a tactician would agree that stealing and robbing and mugging everybody that comes through isn't going to attract them to your army.
Much. I mean, there's some right bastards out there who would be happy to join for all the killing and pillaging and the like, but flies with vinegar and honey, you know?
I mean, what do you do when you do take over Brevoy and there's nothing left to go war and pillage?
That part he's never said, at least not to her.
Okay.
Think he keeps that part straight to the chest.
Hard to see the vision come to fruition without knowing what the vision is.
Yeah, well, I think he's also getting a bit big for his britches.
Tell me this, Habs. I've heard tale of how Kressel injured Oleg's leg, but I also know that Oleg instigated by attempting to reach for one of her.
Tell me how that works.
She didn't kill him, which is what I would have done. If the veneer of his leadership can be broken,
Then you've got something more fierce than a harpy on your side.
if we were to develop a civilized society, would she adapt to it? Or is she a potential wild creature that is an enigma and a potential threat to anything we try to build?
Could be either way, to be honest. But if you think I'm an opportunist, wait till you meet her. Right opportunity comes her way, she might settle down like a dove.
The rest of my compatriots see her as a violent savage, but I think she's pragmatic. Right now, the best opportunity around here is what the Stag Lord offers. It's got a shiny veneer, it says sweet words, but all the actions don't agree with it. I don't really want to have to kill every bandit down here. People are people. And as I've learned from your former compatriots out at Silk Hollow, not all of them wanted to do it. Sure, there are some right bastards out there. But
Oh, yeah.
if
Hi.
you're, well, you know, at least you're a right bastard instead of a left bastard.
I'll take that. Not sure what it is yet, but I'll take it.
Don't think about it too hard.
I'll try not to.
Fantastic. I know that my companions don't necessarily want to kill everybody and everything down here, and quite frankly, any person I don't have to draw my blade against is a win. I appreciate your insight. And I hope that a year from now, 2 years from now, you and I are both in a place where we're actually enjoying what we're doing, and we're not feeling like we're under threat from potential tyranny.
One last thing about Cressel.
Yeah,
She's not real fond of other women. Just a forewarning.
good to know. Do you want me to say anything to Keston, or you think you can handle it?
Think I can handle it? Not allowed to think, but I'm allowed to speak.
Well then, keep keeping your head down, and we'll get through this, and we'll move on.
Fair enough.
Appreciate it, Habs.
He kind of gives a non-committal acknowledgement grunt. Slurps up last his oatmeal and...
I'll just kind of spin around at the picnic table so he can lean against the table. Just kind of let out a deep breath.
When I've seen that Hops has left him, because I'm assuming I would be checking back between the two. See.
Oh, I assumed you're like peeking around a corner or something
Yeah,
to watch.
basically.
Lip reading, you know.
I will. I'll head back over to the table and sit down next to Grogan. So how did it go?
Good.
Good. It's good to hear.
I can't tell if he's telling the truth or not, but he seems genuine.
That's a fair notion.
He's a survivalist, an opportunist, and right now, I'm his best option for both.
Yes, you are. Just as long as you don't forget that, I think you'll be fine. Because the moment somebody else has a bigger stick than you.
Yeah, well, right now, the threat that what they did to Colin could happen to him is going to keep him here and keep him tame.
That is
But that
true.
threat only carries for so long. We have to end the issue.
As soon as
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He did give me good information about Cressel.
Oh, what's that?
Don't know exactly how many people she will have with her, but apparently she doesn't like other women very much, so I doubt there will be any females in her group.
Noted.
Seeing as there were none in Hapsis, this feels like a pretty male-dominant entity. Also means we probably shouldn't lead with Sakura, trying to gain her graces.
I can agree with that.
We need to show a dominant yet logical, rational approach to convince her to stand down. Otherwise, it's definitely going to bloodshed. But Haps did say she's as big an opportunist, if not bigger than he is. And if we can play to that by showing her that what the Stag Lord offers is lies wrapped in a nice blanket, we might have a chance to get them to not fight, or at least turn some of them on the rest of them.
That'll definitely be useful. We just need to figure out how
And where.
and where. Yes. And when. Might as well hit all of them. We're still waiting for Maine to come back before we can even do anything remotely of that nature. Rather have full strength than not.
We might run out of time.
That's what I'm worried about.
We can't keep skirting the forest. I think we have to just get into it. We know that's where they're going to be.
Yep.
They have no reason to camp on the plains. No shelter, no resources, no water. I think if I were camping out long term, you definitely want to be near a water source.
Yep.
So we know they're along one of the streams on the map. They have to be.
And if I remember correctly, I believe there was already a camp pointed out. One camp bandits pointed out on Sakura's map.
It's a river or a junction where wagons can cross.
Yeah. We know that they could be somewhere, at least one of the groups is somewhere near there.
It's a choke point for travelers. It's inevitably a place that they'll have people. I would.
A lot more information.
I think that's our best bet. I say we give it one more day. If Maine shows up, fantastic. But otherwise, I don't think we have a choice. The Colin thing was so blatant. We cleared the near area and at least verified that we weren't under an imminent threat, but we got to be a little more incisive with what we're doing now.
This is a whole different game we're in. Especially because we don't know what Colin has told.
We have no idea what he told him before they killed him. But it's not just here that we have to be cognizant of. The guys out at Silk Hollow aren't necessarily going to stand up with a tent as their only shelter to an onslaught of a group that outnumbers them. The only fortunate thing we have is that Colin didn't tell them that that's exactly where those guys were. He just said he could have told them they went east.
And has no more further information on that.
So I don't think we have a choice. And I know Sakura is not going to be happy about it.
Probably won't be. But I think in the end she'll know that this is, again, not a choice that we have, and we have to do it. That is the best that she has to her charter right now.
Yeah. My brain keeps telling me State of the Plains, but deep down, I know what we got to do.
Well, I guess we better figure things out. Let Sakura know that we need to, instead of leaving today, we'll take a day, see if Megan comes back tomorrow. if not later today. We'll go from there.
Agreed.
Slate will stand up, closing his book where he's wrote down what Grokon has said, and we'll go look for Sakura.
Sakura would have gone to talk to Oleg about getting some of the boar meat to use on their trip.
It's a negotiation you'll have to make. It's not ready.
It hasn't been long.
Nowhere near.
Yeah.
Meat to dry.
Yep. Usually takes a few months, if I recall. So it's nowhere near ready.
No, that's fine. Even if it's not the boar meat, rations or anything that will help us.
Again, you're gonna have to
yep.
negotiate for it. Okay.
Can I roll and still roleplay it at the same time?
Yeah, I've told you before you can do
Okay,
both.
no, okay. I'm just nervous because it didn't go so well the last time. Yep. That's a 12 and diplomacy is a 7, so that is a 19. She'll knock on the door and go back to where she knows that Oleg kind of keeps his books and whatnot to see if he's there.
He is working on the ledger, yes.
Oleg, we're going to be heading out fairly soon.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to purchase some rations and ingredients for the trip out. I don't suppose that the boar meat is ready, but if there's any usable meat.
No. None. I can't do his voice right now, I'm sorry. No. Puma. There we go. Ingredients and meat. No. Rations we can negotiate.
Well, I know that Grokon assumes about 2 weeks, and we can forage a bit, and we've been doing fairly well with that.
Good, because I don't have more than that. I have 2 weeks for a single person. And that would clear me out.
I wouldn't want to do that. I know that I still have quite a bit of rations from when we left Brevoy, but I'd like to purchase the week's worth of rations. That should at least be good in case there's any incidents that we're not able to cover with foraging, along with what I already have.
Alright, he pulls out an abacus, probably. I'm gonna say abacus, because that sounds cool. Alright, I could probably offer that to you to, say 5 gold and a silver. Silver. There we go.
Well, I have 2 gold and a silver. I could fetch the rest from
You have
funds.
it. You sold the traps, remember?
Oh, okay. Well, no, I mean, like, I thought that you were holding on to that, so.
I was just tracking it. But
Okay.
you have it.
It's group funds.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
you can afford it.
Yeah. That shouldn't be a problem. You said 5 gold and 1 silver?
Yep.
Alright.
And I'll mark it down that that's out of our party people.
Gotcha.
Yeah, in short, if it's easier for you, that's 56 silver.
It's cool. I have it marked down between gold and silver. It's
Yeah.
good.
No, that's 51. Sorry. So it should be 6 silver. Sorry, my bad. Right? 56 silver, 5 gold. Yeah,
5 gold would be 50, and then 1 silver is 51 silver.
Yeah, so sorry, 6 silver, not 1 silver.
6 silver. Okay.
Yeah, 56 silver total.
Got it.
Sakura will pull out what she has and hand it over to Oleg.
Take.
Okay. Out of curiosity, how long do you think that the meat would be left to cure?
Month?
Just a month?
No.
No.
Months. Month. Plural.
Okay.
Takes months, and that's assuming that this is in a wet spring.
Very well. Then just please let me know when it's...
Best bet is ask next fall or winter. This coming is what I mean.
Fair enough.
Later in the year.
I've bought cured meats and I never made them myself, so I don't want to pester you with keep asking, so it's a good time to know.
He looks a little weirded out by, like, city folk kind of expression. It's like, it's, because of course around here that's, like, very common knowledge, but, like, you're not from around these parts. So that was, that's not even, like, a sense motive, it was, like, a sense motive, like, a 2. That's, like, the reason for his weird is, like, oh, city folk.
Well then, I think that's everything. Oh,
Well,
there
good.
is... No.
What?
I was going to ask if... how often merchants come by, but I know that here in the winter they probably won't be moving out more until probably spring.
Generally, we get one good shipment a month. Letters take about 2 weeks to get either from here to Bravo or vice versa. Shipments usually take about the same, but typically we get one good shipment a month. 2 if it's on request.
That's good to know. Do you...
Probably not.
That would be good news for me. But I was going to ask, do you charge any additional fees for special orders? Just so that I could keep it in mind.
I just charged you extra.
Okay.
Like, just now.
You mean with the rations?
Yeah.
But I meant, like... if I wasn't looking
Yeah,
for a...
Just yes.
Okay.
Just assume I'm gonna charge you extra. Availability, location, request. I'm gonna charge you extra. I'm not gonna gouge you now.
No, you have a business to run as well.
But a good example, rations tend to run about 5 silver a piece. I just charged you 8. And no, I will not be giving you change back.
No, it's perfectly fine. Like I said, I understand that you have a business to run as well.
This isn't for me, just so you know, but a bit of free advice. If anyone tries to sell you shit around here, maybe try to remember what the prices are back in the city.
That's fair enough.
Most people aren't quite as nice, generous as me.
And I appreciate your generosity. It's there's still a lot I need to learn, and
Yeah.
I do trust you. So if you charge a bit more, it's well, you work hard, and anyways, I'll keep that in mind. I may need to. I have some thoughts, but in the meantime, I'll need to raise a little bit more gold before I make any special orders.
Good. Anything else?
Nope, that would be it.
Good, then get out.
Have a good day, Oleg. And she'll leave. Head back outside.
Okay.
I will probably stumble right into her.
Ah, Slate.
Hi. I just got done talking to Grokon, and we kind of wanted to bring up an idea of probably, waiting another day, taking the day to rest.
I mean, that's not a problem for me.
Possibility, give a chance that Maine will come back tomorrow, hopefully, if not today.
Hopefully. He's been gone a while now. I know he said he was delayed, but still worried something might have happened.
I'm sure if something did happen, well, we would find out, hopefully, in the next few days, if not more. But if he was able to contact you from the city and tell you that he was delayed, at least you know he made it to the city safe.
That is a comfort. Popcorn. Pop gets popcorn.
But Grokon did get to talk to Hops. And we may have to deal with the situation sooner than we plan.
I mean, that would be a good thing. The way that I see it, the sooner we can get the State Lord out of power, the better. It's like
I
a
agree.
poison on the land to the people, and the less influence that he has, the better.
On top of that, if Maine doesn't come back, we may have to deal with it without Maine.
If it comes to that, we'll leave a message here with Oleg and Lana and let him know what we set out to do.
Okay. Feel free to talk to Grokon. I know he talked to Hops and you wanted him to talk to Hops, so... But I just wanted to pass that information off to you.
Thank you.
No problem.
And she'll start heading over to where Grokon is and look back.
You'll find him standing on the ramparts facing south.
Were you going to come with us, or were you going to do something else in the meantime?
Talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because she didn't want to just rush off and like leave you in her dust.
Go with you all to deal with the Stag Lord?
No, I mean to talk to Grokon.
Oh, yeah, no, I can come with you.
Yeah. And she'll slow down her pace and walk with Slate up to talk to Grokon.
He'll open his book and be writing something out. No. As they head that way.
Once she gets up onto the ramparts, she'll call out to Slate. It's Slate, to Grokon. So Slate said that there's a change of plans, perhaps.
Grokon's just kind of solemnly standing there with his hands behind his back, facing south, looking at the woods. And he just kind of nods.
Are you okay?
You ever feel a storm brewing and you know you can't outrun it?
Can't really say that I have, but I understand what you're getting at.
It's a sailor's worst nightmare, next to drowning. We've cleared the initial area around Oleg's. We know the bandits are camped close. But I just keep thinking about Colin. And if we don't strike out to deal with the issue, who knows what comes next.
It won't be good, that's for sure.
And they know damn well where we are. So we have two options. Fortify this place and wait for the siege, which we'll starve. They'll be able to outwait us. Or we go find them. And we deal with them.
I prefer the latter. Not that I have a nihilist point of view, but if we can avoid dragging Oleg and Lana and Creston and his men further into this, I'd prefer that.
I don't think they have a choice. If we fail, collateral damage will likely be they go down too.
Then we best not fail.
Habs told me a little more about the hierarchy of the group. It is fragmented. They have multiple entities. His group and the boys out in Silk Hollow were the bottom tier. The leader of the group above him was Kressel.
He had mentioned something similar, that their group was the ones that nobody wanted to deal with, punishment duty and such.
It makes me wonder what threats are out there if the group nobody wanted to deal with was hustling the only known entity that has money flowing through the region. But everything I've heard of Kressel, she's an opportunist, survivalist, but not necessarily engorged in violence. When she struck Oleg, in my culture, trying to take somebody's weapon out of their hand is fair cause to get you killed, and she merely kicked him in the knee. That's a woman who's not looking for unnecessary bloodshed if the opportunity to make money or gain better position is available. If she kills Oleg, this trading post fails, they can't collect money. Even in the spur of the moment, she's able to keep that in the forefront of her mind. We can leverage her intellect and her ability to cognitively process information to hopefully get her to stand down. Haps and Cullen both tell me that she looks at the Stag Lord like some great deity, second coming of a king, and she's drank the potion of whatever BS he's selling about what he is going to do with these lands. But according to Oleg and Svetlana, they've been under the threat of these bandits for years, and nothing has changed. No new people have settled. This land isn't any tamer than it was when they got here. So whatever the Stag Lord is promising is clearly bullshit. if we can leverage what we are proposing versus what he has proven he isn't doing, get her to stand down, there's a good chance her group will too. And then we don't have to kill anybody or defend ourselves.
You always know that I prefer a more diplomatic approach.
It's not even about diplomacy. This is survival. There are 3 of us. If Haps and his crew had 9 people, and they're the outcast small crew, the next tier up is not going to have just 9 people. We're already outnumbered 3-1 there. We don't have a choice.
I get that as well. It does make me nervous to undertake the bandits in the Stag Lord as they are, but it needs to be done. Still, you know
That
that
brings
if
me to my
there's
next point. I'm sorry, what were you going to say?
if there's a way to get through with as little lives as lost as possible, including our own, you know that I'm always for that.
Well, the lives I'm most concerned with not losing are ours.
I prefer not to lose our lives either.
But beyond that, they've indicated to you where a crossing point is along the stream within the woods. It's on our map.
Yes. And
If
you're
I am setting up a choke point to ambush or force a toll so that I can continue to get paid or have a battlefield advantage, it is a place where people are forced to take their trade and their wagons across a stream. I don't know if they'll be camped there or not, but some of them will be camped there, almost guaranteed. And we know they're not out on the plains because there's no water source indicated on the plains except for the river far to the south. So they have no reason to camp anywhere where they don't have access to fresh water. So if they're using the shelter of the woods, which makes sense, and the cover of the woods, which also makes sense, they would have to be along a water source. Have to be.
when we spoke to Haps previously, he did say that they did travel along the river. That's why I was trying to avoid it with the others, just in case to avoid fighting them directly.
I don't think we have a choice anymore.
No. I just confirming that it is known that they use the river. So if they're not at the camp, at the bridge, at the crossing, we can follow the river and hopefully find them.
I think that makes the most sense. But the faster we deal with this,
No, I agree. I know that after what happened to Colin, I was ready to go out then. That hasn't changed now. Granted, I probably wasn't in the best mind and wouldn't have been in the best mind to fight. Clouded judgment and all, but
now, the other thing that Haps told me, when we do finally meet Kressel, should we meet Kressel, Kressel does not respect other women. Now, obviously, Slate and I do not disrespect you. 2 things are going against you if you're the one to step up and negotiate. 1, she might not give it to him because you are a woman. And 2, Colin told them anything. He told them about you. Because he's known you the longest. And I think we can all agree that they may not have thought most highly of you in terms of your competency of being a leader and somebody to sell an idea.
that's fair enough.
So, for our advantage, either Slate or I should probably be the ones to approach Cressel in conversation to begin with. Not saying you can't speak, because obviously we're a team and a group, but just to initiate, so that we don't set the wrong tone to start. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay.
I'll leave it in your hands. Is there anything else?
I kind of just want to think for a little bit. Try and figure out if there's anything I'm missing that we can use to our advantage.
The only thing that I could think of is maybe perhaps enlisting Pearl and Tig. They can move around a bit unseen. They're small. And while they may be a bit childish in a lot of things, they could probably see...
Are you recommending that we rely on an entity from the first world, known for trickery and conniving, to be a dependable part of our battle strategy?
Not per se, but if they know where there's movement, if they know where people are, if they could give us a heads up, even just watching the southern part of the fort, give an alert in case something happens. Even that is better than...
We walked through for 3 days where you encountered them the first time and we never saw them. How are we reliably supposed to contact them? And again, would you trust Haps to go scout for us? Because I trust him more than I trust the Fae.
I can understand that. But at the same time, if you're talking about resources and things that we could consider, I don't think ruling them out completely is... Even if it's in some small way, it's better than nothing, isn't it?
Again, prove to me, Sakura, how do we contact them? How do we ensure we get the information from them in the timely fashion we need to? When we decide to do this, we have to execute and move quickly. When you storm a port of a city that's not necessarily expecting you, or even if they are expecting you, the only way to win is to go in hard and fast and force a situation where you can force them to the negotiating table. If you go in nice and slow, they'll circle around you and swallow you whole. You don't have an opportunity whatsoever to go in slow. I'm aware that you are not necessarily schooled in the art of combat. And it is perfectly okay. But tactics are what I did for my ship. And I am not going to risk your life, or Slate's life, or my life on an opportunity that is highly unreliable. It just doesn't feel right. And I've never met Tig and Perlavash.
Neither have I.
And we were in their area that you said you encountered them for 3 days, and we saw nothing. I mean, how do we contact them?
How were you planning to go through to the river camp?
Stay on this side of the stream, moving through the hexes until we got to that crossing point, taking horses and wagon, make the wagon look like we have supplies so it's something worth the bandits stopping us for.
Would we be going through Tig and Pill's area? Or would
No.
we go further?
And if if I know anything about Fae, would a 22 knowledge arcana tell me that, okay, if I know anything about Fae, they stick closer to the areas of the tear that they came through, not that they move very far away from.
You would know, just to clarify, now that I have the popcorn on my teeth. It's dependent on the type of Fae, but based off of what has been described to you, this type of these smaller Fae, that is true. They tend to kind of stay nearby unless they have a bigger Fae that leads them somewhere else. It's very hierarchical. And so given that you saw these two by themselves, apparently they're the only two, like, right here, yeah, they'd stay close by.
If we had gone through their area, we could have left a message with some treats. I mean, even if it amounts to nothing, it would have at least been something we tried. But I do understand where you're coming from as well. I want this to go as well as possible. I don't want us to fail.
Well,
If my ideals don't work, I understand. Like you said, I don't know what's tactically wise. So, it's okay if we don't do that. But that's the only thing I can really think of as a resource of something else that we could try. And if everything goes well and this is all said and done, I can look into talking to Pill and Tig to see if there is a better way to contact them and see if they're able to help us at all. But I'll leave you to your thoughts. I'll try to think of some other things myself.
and he'll just turn back to facing south, looking off the wall.
She takes a deep breath and turns and heads back down the rampart, heading back towards the guest house, and pulls out her map and looks over the things that she has, see if there's anything else that she has of use that would help.
Slight's just gonna look between the two as that conversation comes to an end. And just kind of... that happened. And he'll also walk away from the conversation. Or they'll walk away from the conversation. Or the situation, whatever.
Slate
I'm
echoing the
Rohan.
thoughts of every witness.
Yeah. So that happened.
That happened.
And he'll walk somewhere else along the ramparts.
Cool.
Probably watching the boys, you know. Writing out some notes.
Arden, nice loot. Grady, dim thighs though.
Wasn't meaning that, it was just other things that he was noting up in the conversation. But
You're
those
not
are
denying
probably
that.
from earlier.
There
They
you-
definitely probably
I was gonna say you're not denying those are part of it.
Oh no, I'm not. I'm just
Okay,
saying
cool.
that parts of the conversation.
I'm kind of bummed Norwood's not here because I could just be like, Norwood, more like I'll take your wood.
Norwood, more like more wood.
Because I hear Grady, and mine goes, gravy. All right.
Arden, obviously.
What? Did the authors of this story really?
Jake, honey, these aren't story characters.
Oh man.
The three of them don't exist. They're mine.
I didn't mean necessarily the Paizo authors.
Fair enough. And for reference, yes, I did consider.
Wow.
You're welcome.
Wow.
Hey, y'all didn't catch it last time. So, Harden, more wood, gravy.
Wow. I feel.
You're
naive.
welcome.
Thank you for that very appreciative eye roll. I'm gonna go back to staring off the wall at the forest now.
Just sipping my drink. So come about noon time, There is a call for horses on the horizon. 2 of them. Maine, you're on one of them. Matthew? Matthew? Hi.
Huh?
You're muted.
You muted.
And
Still
still
muted.
There you go.
There you.
So looking up them legs, they're amazing.
Yeah, it's like Husbando. 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 You're on a
I
horse!
ride into the sunset.
No, opposite.
Oh,
Well, I mean, technically you are riding into the sunset, because that is the direction... Anyway. Point is, there are
It's
2
noon.
horses on the horizon, and it's noontime. And you're you're on one of the horses. You are not one of the horses, because otherwise your visit to rest off got weird. But given your entire life, that's average.
what?
Oh.
It would be a footnote.
But you and Norwood are approaching Oleg's trading post.
Morwood, I see you are interested in.
Did you know they used to call? Did you know they used to call me that in Bard College? Sorry.
I don't know if we broke Husbando or if we broke me there.
Both. No, there's a ring at the door, a doorbell ring.
Bad timing door.
Is that a food delivery?
No, and we've already got all the mail for today, as far as I'm tracking.
FedEx.
Huh. Okay. Thank you.
It's an unboxing video, guys. We're trying to
Unboxing.
watch us play Pathfinder, and you got an unboxing
And
video.
you got a free unboxing. What you? Oh, that you. Okay.
Professionalism at the highest standard, ladies and gentlemen. We're killing it today.
We're always killing it,
We kill it every day, except for the
So
past
back-
several.
So back to Norwood and Maine
Yeah, Morwood.
on horseback.
Yeah, he
headed
informed.
to
He
the-
informs you that was his name in Bard College.
God, please tell me he takes hero classes in Bard.
Which is quite interesting. Bardic College. Who is your professor?
It doesn't much matter. I'm a Bardic school dropout.
Well, I think you have a capability of picking it back.
I'm sure, but I found my needs were needed elsewhere. I had a great job opportunity from my friend Keston, and it's worked out pretty well since then. I get to trip a lot of people, meet lots of new people. It works out pretty well.
Well, just whip them into shape and.
Oh, don't make me.
Oh.
Oleg's trading post. How fast we arrived.
Could not have been faster. That
Oh,
snowstorm was rough.
yeah, they probably got it pretty bad out here too.
Well, as much as I would love to commiserate my misery, I hope it was much easier on them.
It was. I kept myself entertained.
But, we come up upon the doors.
Yeah, and Grokon will be, having been up on the ramparts and seeing you approach, he will scurry down to make sure the gate is open.
Yeah.
Do we know that it's them or just that 2 horses are approaching?
They saw them on the horizon, so it's been watched ever since. Would they announce it? because I've done this a couple times, but I guess you didn't pick up. When they announce like horses on the horizon,
Yeah.
they watch until the riders come in, and they announce periodically like any scene information. So by the time they got to the gate, it's known.
Oh,
that's
okay.
them.
And I would assume Norwood has a hand signal that he gives to.
Oh yeah, there's like a whistle and a hand signal, and there's like a shake weight thing going on.
I was thinking the shake weight thing.
Traveler call.
Chaos crew.
Chaos crew.
The
Fist
pterodactyl.
bump.
Pterodactyl. Ah, that's Norwood. He just pulls out a recorder and starts playing Sandstorm.
Jeez.
Oh, yep, they heard us. Hey, you'd hear that across the plains. Oh no,
Are you
Cece's
okay?
dying.
Cece, don't die.
We killed her.
We broke Cece.
I just choked on my own spit. God damn it. It was the recorder of Sam's.
I mean, it was between that and like the harmonica Jurassic Park theme.
So knowing that it's Mayene and not like a random threat or something like that.
Not another
should we-
horrified, mutilated corpse, yeah.
Yeah. She'll make sure that her sword is put away, but eagerly goes to the gate to meet them, looking a bit more relieved with everything else that's going on. Like, yay, we won't have to do this with just 3 people. And Mayene's back.
I'll make my way down off the ramparts as well.
Ah, it's nice to be back. It's are we missing people?
Yeah. Kana got a message from her father and she went to go and help him.
Thank you, Jake. That one got me.
But you're back. Welcome back.
Yes. What does it was a good time. It was well worth the venture. I got to meet with family and talk a little bit about news. Yes.
Well, you've missed a lot here. We've got quite a bit to catch up on, though there is something that I do want to talk to you about when you get the chance. But you've traveled long, and she'll step over and start like petting Arabelle's nose. I'm sure that you want to get settled a little bit before we talk.
Yes. He looks over and he's like, Slate? Dotokan?
Grokon, my friend. Grokon.
Brocon.
Brokon sounds too much like broken.
You might be by the end of this campaign.
The way you roll.
The way I roll, I have a chance. The way she rolls, I also don't have a chance.
Confidence!
Hey,
But, no, he's
we'll be okay.
Brokon. Slate. Yes. I heard you would, mentioned you wanted to be joining us. Is that true?
That is correct.
Good. But no, what am I holding you out here? Let's go inside the trading post. Let's talk.
And as you and Norwood bring your horses in, Grokon will shut the gate behind you.
The trip to Restov was nice. It was brisk. We arrived just in time. There was a blizzard. Locked us in Restov. Oof. Felt like a year.
Oh, at least you got there safe and got back safe.
Oh, speaking of which.
Yes, real quick for reference. You left on Kuthona the 2nd,
Mm-hmm.
so December. It is now Abadias the
12?
manyth.
The mini.
The 12th, yes. So they finished out the month of Kuthona and are on to the next month.
So we're
Just so you have a-
February.
So you've gone from mid December to mid-
Mid-February.
or,
January.
you know what I
We've
mean.
gone almost a month.
January.
You know what I mean. It's been almost a month.
Speaking
It's
of
been like-
which,
it's been
he
like a month and a
reaches
half.
into the saddlebags and pulls out a canvas bag, and inside it is carefully wrapped glass jars. You asked for these, I believe, Sakura.
My spices. Yes. Oh, this makes cooking so much better. There's a lot of potatoes out here. Some seasoning will go a long way.
Yes. There's this, and I happen to also get. He pulls out another small bag, and it's a bag of salt. It's important for, importance. He politely hands that to you.
Thank you.
I wish I could have told Kana goodbye before she left to see her father, but well, if Hoshi needed her.
I think she'll be
Okay.
happier, at least. It's what she's always wanted to do, so.
Well, he has a good reputation.
It's good to hear.
He wouldn't have called her back if it wasn't for him. But it's enough of my tales. What's happened since I've been away?
Oh, so many things. Not sure if you could see it from the road, but, well, and she'll gesture around the fort. We've set up the boys, the bandits, out east a bit more. There's a clover tree, so we've dubbed it Silk Hollow due to the fact of all the spiders that were kind of... Either way, that was dealt with, but we set them out. They're starting to build out there, and hopefully soon, in a couple months or so, they'll have something really sturdy to support themselves with.
Well, hopefully that works out.
Well, if we can deal with the bandits, the other bandits, State Lord specifically, I have every confidence that they'll flourish. They're good men. But that brings me to the bad news of things that have happened. While we were out getting them set up, Colin, the red hair map maker,
Chipper little boy.
he left. He went to...
I hope things turned out well for him.
It
We all
did.
are entitled to our own adventures.
He went back...
At the eastern wall.
Say again.
He's buried off the eastern wall.
He went back to the State Lord after we left. The Stag Lord kindly sent him back to us, mutilated. Upon a horse with a stag head sewn to his body and his chest stuffed with their symbol. They killed him.
Well, I deduced that.
You've arrived at a fortunate time. Following Colin's return to us in his state, we immediately searched the surrounding areas to make sure we weren't under imminent threat. Fortunately, we were not. However, we were talking this morning on how to formulate a plan to strike out and find the remnants of the bandits and eventually the base of the Stag Fort. Because now that the gauntlet has been thrown, the last thing we can do is leave the people of this outpost to be subject to a siege or an overrunning assault. And not that 4 is much better than 3, but it's significantly better than 3.
Any number is a good number to join. What's the plan?
I'm working on it.
What we
To be
have
fair,
so
we
We
just
know of the area. Do we have a map yet?
Sakura will pull out the map. She's been studying it all morning, so she still has it on her.
What's the sword?
Ooh. That was the tomb that we found.
was the tomb for a giant.
Yeah. If Maine asks about that area, she'll...
Is it marked on the map?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, all this stuff's marked on the map.
It was a desecrated tomb of a giant by the name of Witherblade.
How'd you know? 'Cause I could've-
The body did not have the skull anymore, so we sealed the tomb up as best we could. Witherblade, as we recall from fairy tale Sakura Nu, is a giant that has attachments to, according to legend, entities of the first world. And where he went, crops failed, i.e., Witherblade.
And you said you sealed his tomb.
We attempted. We put a large boulder in front of the entrance.
We didn't want his tomb to be disturbed more by other...
Assuming the little corner marks are fully explored, right?
Yep.
Yeah, anywhere you have the little black square up in one corner, or little black L, basically, that's a fully explored hex.
Ooh, we never did the hex for the bear traps.
Ah, yes, I didn't mark that last time. My apologies.
It's
I
fine.
got you.
We didn't like the bear traps, so it's understandable. We just wanted to forget all of that.
Yeah.
Also, where you see the spider web next to Boken's hut, Bakken's.
Balkans.
Yeah.
That's where
Apps.
that's where Silk Hollow is. That's where the settlement is.
Okay.
From what I gather,
Alright, I'm on the wrong layer.
the closest thing we have to a plan so far is going down here to the Thorn River camp. Seeing if there's any bandits there that we can convince to lay down their arms. Maybe Kressel.
Okay.
We're still trying to
If
formulate.
If Colin came back the way he was sent, he came through that camp.
He actually came from the west.
The people who moved him. They were from that camp. Unless there is a bandit outpost to the west, which we would need to find out.
I know that we planned on trying to see what we could find. At least we know that the Thorn River camp was at least one of their outposts and one of their locations. Better than going in blind. At least then we'll have a bit of surprise on our side.
Mine, what's your knowledge of staying out in the wilderness?
Common sense, good survival guide, and a little bit of natural luck.
Okay. We searched the woods directly to our west. We did not find a sign of bandits.
Did we check southwest?
We did check
From what I've
southwest.
determined, and from what I've heard, the bandits tend to stick close to bodies of water.
Correct. And according to our map, the plains hold none of that. So they're definitely in the woods somewhere. At least, unless they're further south on the plains to the east than we searched.
Woods are generally the easiest defendable location.
Correct,
If
and
we
they provide
come
cover.
straight from this fort, well, lookouts tend to look in the direction most heavily the enemies will come from.
I agree.
If they want to send us a message, we can return in kind.
The first group of bandits had 9 people. The next tier up, in terms of hierarchy, is likely to be bigger. Even with you here, that's 4 versus 10 plus.
Means we need to get one of their hunting parties. I say we move west by southwest. We maneuver south, follow along the river to where we expect the Thorn River camp to be, and attempt to eliminate some of these bandit parties before scouting the camp and deciding our next action. But that is a recommendation from an advisor.
Its sound gives us cover en route. But I was also thinking the way that we could get in without being surrounded was if we swung far east out on the plains and came from the southeast towards that camp, with me in the wagon ahead of their main party, looking like an isolated traitor and an easy target. you guys stay back 200-300 feet, then as I get surrounded, we won't be surrounded. And bandits tend to not like reinforcements.
I'll take the cart. Nothing about being personal, but you're not exactly the most vulnerable looking of the group.
Well, that's kind of the point, is I wouldn't have hired extra guards.
I think I should drive the car.
Well, I can't ride a horse, so I don't really have much of a choice.
Then lay back in the cart. You'll be luggage.
To be honest, it does worry me if there was just one of you. There's at least two of you. That gives me a little bit more comfort. I know that we won't be far behind, but a lot can happen in the time it takes for us to catch up.
Still think the forests would be a better answer, but
Hard to drag the cart through them, though.
Slate, what's your opinion?
Oh. I'm kind of on the same level with Grokon here. Going from the plains would be easier to pull the cart through. And if we time it well, and if this comes down to a fight, I have the spells I need. I could cast Enlarge on Grokon without an issue. I am not against Mayeen being a bait, I guess, as you would like to say. But I do agree that Grokon should at least still be in the cart. If we could hide our forms within the cart, then that would be much easier for all of us. Make it look like we are all supplies. With that as well, it'll make it easier for me to be able to cast that spell on Grokon faster if needed.
I'm liking the sound of this.
The more of us that are together, if things go down, I feel a lot better than trying to make distance if you guys need help.
I understand that, but I'm also concerned about us being surrounded as an entire group.
I understand that as well.
Believe me, I do not like the idea of being front and center. I'm not that type of person.
But in theory, we could at least build some small walls to the side of the wagon. Provide you some cover. You could stay in the wagon, force them to come up to you if we did get surrounded.
What spells do you know?
Outside of what I have prepared today, I know Snowball, Magic Missile, Mage Armor, Lock Gaze, Identify Grease, Enlarge, and Crafter's Fortune, along with many cantrips that are very useful. Acid Splash, useful, Ray of Frost. I'm mostly a support, in a way, to make the fight go faster.
Magic Missile has quite the reach.
It does. It's currently, I believe it's at 120 feet. If I remember correctly.
Yeah, it should be at level too?
It is. It is. I have it open right now in front of me. I'm just playing character-wise.
Yeah, no. Sorry, I didn't quite realize you were saying that until after
No,
I
it's
said
fine.
it.
It's fine.
But I am with Grokon that we should split our forces to avoid being absolutely surrounded. The heftiest of us should be the main focus in the beginning.
Plus, if we do get surrounded, one of us merely needs to turn around, keep their attention for a second, and Sakura, as you approach, got him right in the back.
With those nice chakrams.
I don't have those anymore.
Ha. A lot of things has changed.
They
Well,
have.
what are you wielding?
Right now, my rapier, and I picked up a dagger. They don't do as much as the chakrams do, but I could still throw them if need be, and they're more versatile.
I think those are a brilliant pairing of weapons. 'Tis many a duel I have seen down to an Eldori dueling sword and a dagger, rapier and a dagger. Honorable fighting style. Don't doubt it.
I don't, but I still gotta get used to them. That's taking a little bit.
So, we have our plan. But part of the plan is hoping that we are not noticed on our way out. A trap
Still-
baited before the prey is often but the trap itself.
See no movement on the plains to the south between here and the woods. And I've been standing up there all morning. I don't know how actively they're legitimately watching us.
It's winter.
I have a suggestion, perhaps. I don't know how wise it might be. But if we're going down through the plains, would it be wise to travel to Silk Hollow and then go from there, farther east, and then down south? I mean, if they think that we're going...
Where's Silk Hollow?
You should point it out on the map.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that the boys know what's going on and what happened to Colin. If we're going out east anyways, a half a day's journey, especially to give us a little more distance if they are watching us, might not be a bad idea. And we can kill two birds with one stone.
And so what we're talking is this way, and then like that, right?
Yeah, something like that. At least that's what Sakura is recommending. The closer we stay to the tree lines, the more likely it is that they're going to be watching us. So if we go farther out east and then south, come around that way, if somebody is watching us, we'll be able to see more easily in the plains. They won't have as much cover.
Neither will we. It'll mean Grokon needs to. By the time we hit here, and he indicates towards where the Giants map, or the Giants tomb is, Grokon will pretty much be confined to the wagon.
Well, I'm thinking about what you said earlier, Maine. If we think about where trade would be coming from, it wouldn't be coming from the east. They've been manning this area, the bandits have, for months, if not years. And the only known settlements that would even utilize that would be Pytax, other cities to the west, coming east towards Restov. And if there's a wagon crossing there, that means there's some sort of road that travels through the woods. Potentially somewhere in this area, there's a spot to cross the stream where there's another ford point, or somewhere here, maybe. So if we were to come and swing from the west in this sort of pattern, we could potentially appear to be traders from the west, which might be a little more believable, and at least leave them a little less suspecting.
So, back to plan A. We just need to figure out getting the cart across the river once, and through a couple of trees.
But again, if there's one river crossing, unless that road immediately turns south along the stream, there would likely be another one over here to the west.
Worth looking into. I say we go for that plan. As much as I am wishing to say I'm sore from sitting on my horse from Restov, I am really itching to get out there and do something. Restov was so dull.
Fair. Then we ride tomorrow.
Sakura?
I think we should take the day. Prep. We're gonna have that wagon prepped if that's what we're planning on doing. To go that way.
Yeah.
Figure out what. Finalize our details of our plan and go on from there. Take the day, rest, and head out in the morning.
Perhaps we can talk to Oleg and see if he knows where the caravans come from. I mean, he knows more about the trade in this area than anyone else. The only thing that I'm worried about going from the west is how much forest we're going to have to go through. Which isn't necessarily a problem, but if we're going to keep our distance, we're not only going to have to worry about bandits, but wolves and other things. And if they are watching us, it's going to be harder to tell. But if it's more believable, I'm sure that we'll make do.
I mean,
Let us-
you might want to wear a hood to cover your ears and maybe do something to cover your tail, since that's kind of a dead giveaway of who we are. But outside of that, coming from the west is our best chance at any sort of deception, even if they spot us coming. It's our best chance at them not thinking we're us.
That's fair enough.
And I'm blue, so I'll be wearing a cloak and trying to keep myself covered as well.
What race was Grokon again?
I'm a
Half-orc.
half-orc. I'm a coastal half-orc.
Who's kind of teal.
And Slate, you were human?
I
No.
look human. I look human.
Yes.
Keyword, look human. The only thing weird about me is my
Yep.
eyes and my hair.
Never mind.
You remembered?
There you go. I was like, we've talked about this before.
Yeah, I look human.
Sorry, it's been a really busy couple of weeks.
You're fine. This is
Your
the reason
real
why I
life is your real life is not an excuse to not know what's going on in the game. What the hell?
Yeah. Take notes. But I think that's a good spot to take our evening break.
I gotta go bathroom.
Yeah, go.
But
You gotta go. No, stay.
So we'll take a 10-minute. We'll be back at 40 past
okay.
or 20 till, depending how you look at it. Anyway, bye.
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 Enjoy the art. into it later, though.
Yeah, just look into it later. I just wanted to let you know.
And we're live.
Hello! We're back!
Yee.
Did we? Did someone just say fuck?
Me.
Oh, okay. I was like, did I let an inside thought again?
I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
Okay. So the party has a plan. Wow! Let's see how well that goes, because that never goes wrong, does it?
I mean,
Have you seen you roll?
we've had discussions during break about how we keep changing our plans.
You do. So, with that in mind, there's a plan now. A DM approved plan.
Nope.
Shut up. You guys have the rest of the day to prepare then. So, do you have anything you want to do, or do you just shut up and get on with it?
I want to erect a tarpaulin over top of the wagon and see if we can acquire some boards to at least raise the walls by about 2 feet on the sides of the wagon.
It's gonna be pretty tricky.
The boards may not be something we can do.
Find a way to do this.
At a minimum, I'd like to set up one of our tents or something, a couple of them together to create like a
Yeah, the
makeshift-
tarp. That part you could do, but I don't think you'd be able to find the boards.
Okay, either way.
I think we could find some logs or sticks. Saplings.
Where? It's a day's ride to the edge of the forest where we could cut things down.
Along the way. We have to go through the forest,
That's true.
according to the map.
It'd look a little wonky though if we had log walls on the side of the wagon. Like that just it does not strike
I'm
you as a
not
merchant's
talking like
wagon.
full-on logs. I'm talking like branches to raise the sides up.
I'm not particularly good at wicker. Are you?
I have some twine.
So no.
Oh, that's what.
Gokhan just looks at you like,
Look, it is whether we try it or not. If we don't, we don't. Thinking outside the box does not mean necessarily we have to take a bad plan. Broken, I understand there's smoke coming out your ears. It's okay. So, seeing as we don't have boards and it is a foolish plan to practice wicker making to upgrade the basket hull of our cart, I'm going to massage my glutes and proceed to get some rest.
Okay.
I know
Yeah,
that Sakura, before the night's out, is going to try to track down Maine.
Ditto.
and Gokhan wants to talk to Slate.
Okay.
Ooh.
Go for it.
So, I think she called first. So,
Me?
yes.
Yeah,
You're
for me,
that
I'm
way
next
for
to you.
me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm next to you for me.
I'm going on because I have OBS up, so I see where everybody is here.
Yeah.
Sakura will. Where is Maine? After like dinner. After things
And
have
then
calmed down.
Maine?
Yeah.
Maine is setting up his hammock in the stables again.
You'll notice Gokhan is no longer there.
Sacrifices were made.
There's 4 guest beds, just to remind you.
There is. But, that wasn't brought up to Maine.
It's gonna be, don't worry.
Okay.
Um,
Last we had like a bajillion guests. Maine's just setting up where he was comfortable at.
so
Yes.
Cora will find him in the stables then. After looking around and realizing where he normally is around this time of night. She'll come in holding a rolled up piece of parchment and a pen.
Are you going to beat me like a bat dog? Because I'm telling you I didn't do anything wrong.
No.
Okay.
With Kanagon and, well, with everything that happened with Ami and Seren, up until just recently, it was only my name on the charter. I've already asked Grokhan and Slate about putting their names to it. I wanted to ask if you would put yours as well.
Maine pauses and looks over the charter. Can you give me another day or two to think about
Of course.
it? Any other circumstances, I would love to sign it. Just need a little bit more time to reconcile myself. And all the changes. No, it's not your fault. Thank you.
I understand. I just... You were gone when it happened, but... You're one of the people I trust. So... I wanted to make sure.
I trust you. Thank you. I'm asking for the time for myself.
I know. I just...
But I'm happy to see Grokhan and, so that's how you spell it. And Slate's name on there. I expected a silent Z.
She kind of smiles. I trust them too. I've learned a lot from the both of them since they've helped. I still have a lot more to learn, but it's a good start, I think.
Yes. Yes, it is.
She'll take the charter back and roll it up, looking around at the stable. Are you gonna still sleep in here?
Oh, the guest house. I've been so busy with my own thoughts, I kind of assumed it was still overflowing.
No, there's still an extra bed there.
If you wouldn't mind, would it be okay if I slept in the guest house?
I wouldn't mind at all. In fact, that would be preferable. It's less lonely and Well, we're gonna be traveling together, so I don't see the point of staying separated. Stop it.
Yes. Less lonely, huh?
Well, I mean, you're out here all by yourself.
Speaking of lonely, where's Tony been?
Tony's out with the others at Sokolo.
We are a party together. If you wouldn't mind helping me take down my hammock, I'll bring my bags over to the guest house.
I'd be happy to help.
And Maine goes about and does that.
Mhm.
I believe it is now Grokon and Slate.
Grogan will find Slate and say to them, go for a walk with me.
Okay.
And proceed to head towards the man gate that lets us walk outside the trading post. Once he gets outside the walls and out of earshot, turn and look at Slate and say, these fucking Brevik city people.
Oh man, I know.
I'm gonna vent for about 2 minutes.
He'll listen. They'll listen.
It was bad enough listening to that BS on the ramparts about trusting Faye. But Jesus fucking Christ, wicker walls?
Yeah.
Excuse me, holy fucking Eridan, wicker walls? Caden, give me patience. The shenanigans.
When you're so angry, you get your own god wrong.
You can tell that they've never had to survive on their own outside of a city.
They have no understanding of the wilderness. And it is starting to wear on me brutally. Thankfully, my legs healed all the way. But Jiminy crickets.
Give them time. I'm sure they'll learn eventually. It's just you can't take the city out of the people.
Clearly.
I'm one to talk. I am from a city as well, but
You've been on the road enough, my friend, that I've traveled with you enough to know that this level of naivety and resource allocation is not something that you are attuned to.
you are correct. I've fended for myself for a long time.
Shitstorm we are in right now.
Well, hopefully from here on out I can just get better. And that is the optimist speaking, to be fair.
My thought is, if we could find a way to flip these bandits against the Stag Lord, we could potentially raise up a small army to raid his primary camp and put him down once and for all. But if we are unable to do that,
Then death comes for all of us.
yep.
just have to continuously work on our plan on what we're going to do with them. Because as long as we have a better deal than what the Stag Lord can offer them, we have the bigger stick.
Well, hopefully they're susceptible to that argument.
That is fair.
Otherwise, I just have this stick. And he pulls out his Terbuccia. Alright. Might as well get back inside where it's warm.
Yeah, that would be nice. I also need to talk to Mayeen before we leave.
You do that. I think I'm just going to go to bed.
It might be a good idea. Get some rest.
And Grokon will head into the guest house and start adding a hood with some spare cloth to his cloak so that he can cover his blue face when we're moving forward.
I'll head back in and look for Mayeen.
You walk into the guest house. One of those fucking city people are there.
Two of them.
Two of them. Both of them. One room. They sleep in the same room as you now.
I'll grab my cloak and proceed to go back out to the fire pit.
I picture this house is split. The guest house is split. We got Sakura, Mayeen next to each other, and then me and Grokon next to each other.
No, it's one long rectangular room.
I know,
Yeah,
I know, but I'm
like,
saying
in
like
order.
Yeah. No, that's
in
fair.
that order. It's Sakura, Mayeen,
Oh yeah,
me,
for sure.
Grokon at the end.
For
just
sure.
because He's like,
Grokon's like on the end, like, I'm not sleeping any near those fucking city folk than I need to.
As I step in the gas house, I'll be like, Mayeen, can I speak with you real quick?
Husbando? 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 There we go. You're muted.
You're
You're muted.
Sorry, I was reading something.
Slate is talking to you.
Slate.
Can I speak with you real quick?
Well, I just finished moving my bag, so by all means.
He'll look over at Sakura before heading outside of the guest house.
Sakura, if you wouldn't mind, I'll be back. I don't think Slate plans to assassinate me. Just quite yet.
I'm sure they have their own questions for you.
Yes, I doubt Grokon is conspiring to assassinate me for my terrible wicked idea.
Oh, man.
Oh, if they
I
do,
think
just
I'll
shout,
let
I'll
them
come running.
Yes.
I'll head over to a different part of the thing, letting Grokon sit, do what he wants, because I'm not gonna bother him. Over to your area. So, some information came up while you were gone. And
Yes.
I'd be lying if I didn't say that it piqued my curiosity. You see him open his book in front of you and flip a few pages. And he reads it. I actually need to flip to the page because I realize I'm not on that page. In my own notebook. So, we were talking with Sakura and Kanako about food allergies.
Yes.
Kanako let it slip about your allergy. She didn't tell me what it was, but as an arcane practitioner myself, I would hate to have something used on you and to harm you.
He nods. He kind of glances down towards the ground. We all have things, don't we?
He'll glance down in the same direction and be like, we do.
I would suspect something is following you.
Not exactly following.
Something has found you.
Maybe.
Well, I have an adverse reaction to positive energy.
Healing. How ironic.
I am inversely affected by negative energy.
Seems like fate is on your side then. He's gonna flip to the front part of his book. There's one spell I didn't mention earlier when you asked me about my spells. I'll open it and show you the spell. Repair Undead.
I need to look that up.
It's fine.
That is one spell I have not used in a very, very long time. Oh, shit. Read. I did not expect this.
There was a reason Pop-Tart said she hasn't told you everything, so things are going to be genuine surprises.
It will have no effect
Sorry.
on me.
Oh. Really?
I'm still alive.
Yeah, that's true.
No, never mind.
It says you channel negative energy, though.
Yeah.
Except those that are healed by negative energy.
Yeah.
So, very last line.
But
the
yes,
hidden
and
energy.
unrelated to your backstory, because I have not told your backstory. But they had their own reasons to pursue such things, and I went, oh, woo!
Yeah.
But, so... It's unusual that you would have such magics.
I come across very curious things through my travels. That's why my spell list is a little wonk. A little weird.
It is good that we have somebody with such unique taste.
I've always been curious about magic, and as things began to happen, I like to find anything useful, and lo and behold, apparently fate's decided that this was definitely a useful thing for me.
Should your friend cause you any trouble, I'm sure that with a little bit of work, we can find a way to handle it.
If that comes an issue, I'll let you know, but so far, it's not an issue. But I appreciate the offer.
Issues as well. The darkness is not always the most honest. Sometimes the scariest ones can be friendly, and sometimes the friendliest ones have the sharpest fangs.
Someone should inform Sakura of that.
She has her own protections.
I am aware. I am aware. But I do know that she has those times.
I appreciate the understanding you've brought.
Of course. Again, we have all of our things. We have our own situations that we go through. And if there's a way I can help you or anybody else in the party, I'd rather be of some use than not.
Well, I'll do my best to keep everyone safe as well. But tomorrow will be quite the adventure.
Yes, yeah, it definitely will. It'll be interesting to see how all this plays out. I will keep your secret.
The start
for the
of an
time being.
adventure.
And don't worry about your secret, I'll keep it. Nobody needs to know.
He glances down again at the shadows, but this time not quite at yours.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, You look like someone who could keep a secret.
Real quick, my roll a perception check.
Yes. 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 No.
Oh no! I wanted him to roll high!
What'd you roll? Oh,
Oh, I wanted you to roll high so bad!
we all did.
Like
No.
the
Well, you're not using. That's not my dice.
Use Pop-Tarts dice.
Use the anniversary dice, you fool. You have them. I saw you have it earlier.
no.
You're
You
not-
took them back to polish them.
You seriously don't have my anniversary dice that I just
You
gave you.
took them back for
specifically-
polishing.
I'm giving back the anniversary dice.
Talk amongst yourselves.
I really want you to roll high on this.
Such
You would-
drama.
You in trouble?
She took them back for polishing.
I don't know what she said. but
She
I'm
said to
probably did.
use them for the game.
Welcome to Chaos Hours.
Yeah. Hi. I feel really
You know, where
bad.
something may or may not happen.
Right now things are happening, but not happening at the same time.
Oh look, I roll one of the big ones.
I also
Yep.
feel really bad about annoying Grokan. I'm learning, I'm trying. Eventually.
I actually enjoy the conflict very much. It's always fun to see. I don't ever see that in mini groups very often.
You smell like plastic.
I love it.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'll make sure to perfume them next time.
Right? Like your rosemary scent.
That's for Jake.
That's for Jake.
Jake can have pretty smell good dice. You're a stinky boy. You get stinky dice.
You stinky boy. You
Okay. I am rolling
The anniversary
my-
dice. Maeen's personal anniversary dice that I made for our anniversary for Maeen.
20 total.
See, they have been blessed by the DM. That way they will roll high.
I'm trying to help you. God. They smell funny. So, asshole,
See a problem.
happy anniversary, Jackweed.
To the happy couple.
Do the happy couple.
8 years tomorrow.
Yay!
Huzzah!
Anyway, Dillweed. So, you notice something. Or rather, you don't notice something. Slate doesn't have a shadow. You go to look down at your shadows, and there's only one, and it's yours.
Did anybody else hear the Law and Order tong tong?
Yeah, I did.
Your friend has wandered off. A shadow has left you.
I've never had one.
What are you looking at, Spot?
Cat's
What are you
why.
hunting?
The demons we can't see a lot
Or she
lately.
destroys
I love you, Jake.
For those who don't read lips, fucking cats.
It's not there. It's not there. You
Hey, man, she's been staring at the things that don't exist a lot lately. She's been driven mad by your by your separation from her. She sees you in the yellow wallpaper now.
I love my cat.
Jake doesn't. So anyway, back to that thing about not having a shadow.
I've never had one. Or at least as long as I can remember, I haven't had one. Funny though, as far as I'm aware, you are one of the only people in the group who's really noticed.
That is quite the thing. But that is all right. If we need to look into it. Do you need help looking into your shadow?
I'm sorry, what?
Do
My
you
phone
need
went
help looking into your shadow?
Not currently, there's more pressing things at hand.
I would like to look into it with you if you would have time later.
He kind of looks away from you as he's thinking about it.
I believe these are what you're looking for.
If I get to the point where I'm curious enough, I definitely will let you know.
Curious. I'm curious for the both of us. But
Not the only thing he's curious about.
curiosity is the cat. Yes.
Not the same.
Yes. He is the cat in curiosity.
Oh, continue.
I'm gonna do things like this just to get at her. What?
I'm gonna unbless your dice.
No, don't do that, please. Dear God.
You know what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna let baby mama roll for a while.
No. You'll be evicted.
You dare. Then who will take care of your cat while you're gone?
Same person who rolled the dice.
Take care of the cat. I'm not taking care of you. Make your own dinner.
Oh.
Happy anniversary.
No popcorn, huh?
Corn.
No worries.
Corn's already in my belly. Oh, that's my mouth. This is my belly. That's not your knee.
No, it isn't.
Anyway. Onward.
She'll explain that story later to Neffy and Cece.
I will not.
But that's all I really needed to talk to you about. Especially if
I
we're going
understand.
into a battle, it's good to know that information.
I appreciate that. If there's anything I can do for you,
I will let you know.
thank you.
He'll close his book and walk away.
Are there any other scenes that we need to accomplish?
Not me.
No?
Maine will
Nope.
pray to the shadows.
Good, good. Cut yourself on all that edge.
Grokon seems to be
Sewing.
plucking feathers from a daisy.
Sewing.
I'll go sit down next to Grokon
Okay.
because he's angry.
He's
The
angry.
wicker basket, not to wicker basket. To wicker basket, not the wicker basket.
To assassinate Maine. To not make a whisker basket. A wicker basket. Damn, it's assassinate Maine.
This needle. The things I could do with this needle.
It's needle. Oh boy. I'm just imagining it's Maine's face right now.
No, actually, he, as he's sewing, is sitting there thinking about Colin's neck.
Ooh, good point. Good point.
And is, like, every stitch, he's just like, how? How could a human being do that?
Whoa.
Or a humanoid?
Whoa.
Which is just making him angrier. Like, he was already frustrated, but now he's just like, understanding the rage of his people.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I'll sit down.
I'm in
and
the
think
zone,
about
auto zone.
that. In the zone, auto zone.
You're on autopilot, and that doesn't even exist yet.
Correct.
Got it. All right. With that in mind, we shall move on to the next morning, next day. Look at all the day that is.
When we've played for 3 hours and we made it through one day in game.
There's a lot to catch
What happens
up on.
when Maine comes back?
Yeah, you kind of had to catch him up on a few things. I'm just saying.
Tis okay. I just appreciated it.
Twill. But the dawn will come. And it does. What's today's weather like?
With this music, if it isn't foggy, I'm disappointed.
We're about to find out, friendo. Alright. We're on Abadias. Yes, we are. Oh, cool. You just missed the full moon. Again!
Yeah, the full moon was what day?
I was telling Matt because he hasn't been here.
How did Norwood handle that?
Guess you'll have to ask Norwood.
Would have no reason to ask.
Exactly. There's my weather. Give. Give. Oh,
This music reminds me of walking through a town or a village that's been absolutely massacred. That is the vibe that I'm getting. And that is
Excellent.
that is extremely foreboding.
Excellent. Oh, it's a high of 45 and a low of 39. That's nice. And it is pretty foggy all day. Foggy and cloudy. Isn't that great?
Fuck. I stood on the wall saying I could feel a storm coming emotionally, and then we turn around and we have fog the next morning. The sailor in me is freaking the fuck out.
Excellent. Love it. Love it.
Shit.
So is this the day I should have the Haro reader just randomly appear or something?
God, please don't. For the love of God.
Oh my God.
For the love of Cade and Kaylee, please do not.
Oh, shit. Now I'm just curious.
Would be hilarious.
Do not pull those. Do not pull your deck out. Do not do it. Don't do
I'm
it.
not pulling my deck out. I'm pulling
thank
percentiles
God.
out.
Thank God. Thank God.
I'm pulling percentiles.
Not that that's much better, but
Cece, give me a range of 10%.
20 to 30?
Okay.
What is it?
27.
You asked me?
Yes, because you're the only one who's laughing with me.
No, but like, my intuition's on spot.
I know. That's why I asked you. But it's okay. No, it does not turn up today.
That would have been hilarious.
I'm not gonna do that to you today,
Jake, I'm not gonna do that to you today, Jake.
you know what?
Jake.
Fucking do it. I'm a big boy. I can handle it.
I'll be right back.
She nailed it. Let's go.
I'll do it.
Let's go.
I'll
Full
do
send. Full send.
Full send.
I'm white knuckling my chair over here right now. Y'all have no idea.
I'm sorry.
Oh God, I'm so excited.
I don't know what to expect with this. Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
but
like,
then
I know
we'll go-
tarot reading, but, like, I don't...
You think they don't go well for you?
Matthew,
You have not heard
you
mine.
have it.
What?
The deck.
No, I don't.
You were the last one to have it because you were the last one to do the reading.
I do not have it out here.
Alright. I can make do.
Oh, sweet buttery biscuits.
I'm so hyped. I'm so excited.
I cannot
But there-
cannot believe you called the 10%. I knew it was gonna happen. As soon as you said it, I was like, 20 to 30? Really? And then I said to myself, it's totally gonna hit. It's totally gonna hit.
My brain was just like 20 to 30. I was like, okay, 20 to 30. And my intuition's not bad as what I am. Pop-Tart knows. Pop-Tart knows how good my intuition can be.
Dear God.
I'm innocent, I swear.
So,
Uh-oh.
in the morning,
In the
as
morning.
you guys are preparing,
As
you
we are
throw your
preparing,
things together,
getting our
you
things
can really
together.
stop that at any point.
She's
Um,
already mad at you.
I'm not mad. I'm
Disappointed.
Perturbed.
bemused. Bemused. There is a call that there's a wagon on the horizon.
There's a wagon on the horizon.
Wagon! And as it does draw nearer, you can see bright, colorful streamers off of it. This
It's Parisian, isn't it? It looks Parisian. It feels Parisian.
instead of like a tarp, it has like this purple cloth draped over it with stars and moons and all sorts of celestial designs. And bells hanging off the corners, tinkling along. It is in fact Parisian. You are correct. That is very astute of you.
Probably Desmond.
You know, would you like to roll a knowledge religion?
I don't have it, but I can roll it untrained.
Go for
You
it.
know? Nat 20. How about that?
You do see some dissonance symbology. You're correct. Weird how that works. Weird how you dare the DM to do something and then that thing happens.
You know what? Grokon, personally,
It's psyched.
despite all of this, is fairly relieved, his mother being a soothsayer and a thrower of the bones. So,
Ew.
this might
Ew.
be exactly what he needs.
You right. You right.
Jake the player, on the other hand.
Jake the player!
player.
Terrified.
As you well should be.
I'm just excited.
Terrified green tomatoes. That is a fried green tomatoes pun, but we'll move on from it.
Fair enough, yeah. One second here. It's not okay.
Don't tell me they have an online tarot, like Harrow card deck. Oh, that would be ridiculous.
They do.
Oh, God.
They do. She sent it to me a while ago. Because I was gonna have Slade have tarot decks, and then I basically kind of decided against it. Made him be the note taker.
Yeah. But initially.
But it's great because Pop-Tart has more fun with this.
I do.
I'm so
So.
excited.
And thus, it pulls in after, some time. It appears to be a family of about 4. And a rather excitable, buxom young lass. The elder brother, a father, and a grandmother. And the grandmother comes out with her little cane. They talk with Oleg and Svetlana for a bit as you guys continue to pack.
So
They have
while when they pull in and we're still like packing, Slate's eyes is gonna return to that caravan a lot.
Oh, for sure. Grokon,
Basically
having
going
traveled
back to
through.
glass.
Good for you.
You right.
Good for you. Grokon's definitely continuing to eye it because if he can get his fortunes read, he would like to.
Oh, that's certainly something you can do. As they unpack their wares, mostly spices, as it turns out, ironically enough.
Well, you can buy more spices. We don't have
If you want.
I
Yes, no. Go ahead.
Sakura will definitely, if we have time, peruse the spices to see if they have any to sell that she doesn't have. Particularly since with the list that you gave me, something sweet like a honey or a sugar.
Which they do not have.
Okay.
Spices, not like honey and stuff. And herbs, to be fair.
Mhm.
You might be able to find something kind of sweetly herbaceous, but they don't trade in sugar and honey and stuff like that. It's strictly herbs and spices.
Okay.
But like I said, you could probably find some sort of sweet. I mean, I gave you a couple sweet ones already, so. You had like 2 that were also sweet on that list. There was a nutmeg and there was a something else.
Wayne prepares the carts and his horse. He has little interests in the tales of the cards. He gets his information from other sources.
You see the grandmother sit down at the picnic table, looking around.
Grokon will go sit across the table.
Hello.
Honored Elder.
A nice way to say it. I like you.
How are your travels?
Blessed as they always are.
I'm
Now
happy
they lead us
hear
to
that.
these lands.
I'm happy to hear that.
And what of your travels?
Long, arduous, and not yet finished.
You're far from home, Windtaker.
That I am. As are you.
Home is where I make of it.
It's a philosophy many of my sailor brothers also share. Not to be presumptuous, but my mother is a thrower of the bones. And I know enough of the land of Varisia and of the followers of Desna. Is there one among you?
Oh, certainly. And immediately, like, reaches into her shawl and pulls out a very nicely worn, like, the corners are all soft and rounded, and starts shuffling the deck. And despite, like, the old age and, like, she's got the knobby finger stuff, it's just, like, flowing between her hands. She's...
Grokon takes a deep breath and prepares for his fate.
So what is it you seek from the cards?
We face a great challenge in an uncertain future. I'm merely looking for a sign for cause to have optimism.
Very well. And how many are your numbers?
There are 4 of us.
Oh, 4, a very good number. Oh, wait, there's always a spare. Better idea. Then I can press Control F. So. Among your numbers you possess. That's the wrong tab. Oh, come on, really? You fucker. But it's still laid out better. A symbol of quiet strength, who stands firm but moves when necessary. They are not shaken by any force. The key. Another companion is the Paladin. Paladin stands strong in the face of adversity. He does not back down under any circumstance. They will stay the course, what they know to be true and right, no matter what the circumstance. There is also a being caught in the clutches of something much more powerful than they, though they may not yet realize just how great the power is. This strength often crushes what comes in contact with it, but perhaps they can overcome it themselves. That is the uprising. And she taps the card. And lastly, the big sky. This person has an epic moment, as you can see by the slaves as they uprise against a cruel master. A momentous and powerful change in their life as they cast off the shackles of the past. This is your party. In your past, the courtesan
on the nose. You'll see Grokon even crinkle his nose as she says that, like.
It's the card of political intrigue. Understanding the social niceties that must be followed to gain your way in the world. If it slips, however, it can take an unexpected turn. This could also be a woman who shapes the events that affect you today. A true match. The locksmith. Dexterity. It presents this object with the keys they need to unlock their own destiny. You'll be granted the tools you need to enter a new location, clue, or treasure of your life. However, the locksmith does not tell you how to use such tools, for you must learn to utilize them yourself. Partial match for the brass dwarf. Chosen as heir, who represents the invulnerability to current danger. Although others may fall, the brass dwarf remains hale and strong, though it might also mean a dark and unfortunate fate to follow. But should they fall to that danger, others might be saved. Now to your present. And she tisks as she turns over the demon's lantern. Oh, interesting. Interesting indeed. Normally, the demon's lantern represents sleights of hand and trickery afoot that may make you stumble upon your way. However, due to its position, you may have an opportunity, or perhaps a guide that will lead you to the path you seek. Partial match for the Inquisitor. Accept nothing but the truth. They represent immutable reality, that which cannot be fooled or swayed in any way. Go against this person is to encourage unimaginable disaster. And a partial match for the liar as well. The liar is love at its most treacherous. This is not the love of grand tales and epic. This is the love that will move no mountains. This is the one that rips the heart in two and makes the lover obsessed. Even causes lovers to leap to their death. The card simply means obsession. Unrequited passion, perhaps, or entirely misguided love. And in your future. Interesting.
You actually notice that usually you're familiar enough with decks that usually it's, good past, neutral past, bad past, good, neutral, bad. She goes the good card and flips it over for the future, and it's the Tangled Briar. She taps it twice, says, "We'll come back to that."
However, you do have the Midwife. It's a very nice card. The Midwife is a conduit of creation, although she did not create on her own. This allows... She's the type that lets new life and information into the world, and her heart can see good even in the worst of situations. Perhaps she means a new arrival. However, whether that arrival will be good or bad is up to fate. You also have the dance. The dance misaligned. Dexterity. This card normally represents the patterns of the everyday life, learning the steps to the dance that you must proceed with. However, misaligned as it is, perhaps this path is hypnotic and will blind you to things you need to see. But lastly, she double taps the tangled briar again. An interesting partial match, but also misaligned. The Tangled Briar is a card of ancient deeds and normally would indicate something or someone from long ago making themselves known. However, misaligned, it brings not just pain, but hopes for the future instead. The thorns may prick you, but beyond the tangles, there may just be a bloom.
Grokon exhales loudly.
Sakura is a flower.
I mean, you could interpret it that way. You're right.
I don't.
Just general. I don't.
I appreciate your guidance.
Of course. You'd be surprised how little I get to do this nowadays.
Picks back up the cards and shuffles them back in.
And this would be... This isn't being hidden. Everybody can see this going on.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, that was a group reading. Even though Grokon led it, that was about the group.
I missed the first part of it. I feel bad.
She described the four of us in the first
Yeah,
part.
I knew that, and I was curious about it.
The
but
immovable
something happened
object,
in GR.
which
I had to deal with
is
GR.
the
so.
tower, I think, the immovable object,
Tower, Uprising, Paladin.
and the I forget the fourth one.
I cannot go back.
The briar.
No, Tangled
No.
Briar was the last thing, dear.
That's
We're
what.
talking about the first four.
Oh, the first four. Never mind.
Tower, Uprising, Paladin. And then there was one odd one out, because they were all... Yeah. Let me take a quick look real quick again. Maybe I can bring back my memory here. The Keep.
The key, yeah.
Yeah, it was Keep. Keep, Paladin.
The tower and the uprising.
Yeah. No, the Keep is the tower.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the point where I'm saying that. I think it was Big Sky was the last one.
Big sky. That's it.
Yeah.
Yes. 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 Yes.
There we go. And then, real quick, you might talk amongst yourselves as she, puts her cards away.
I sent you a question, Pop-Tart, just as an FYI.
Seeing the reading go down, Sakura will kind of step up to them. Was that good news? Or...
It wasn't bad news.
That's good, at least.
Me. There is one more thing. Anytime a
A reader such as myself shuffles the deck. If one more card falls out, that is always a relevant thing. And while I was shuffling, one more thing did fall out that I feel I should tell you. And she holds up the idiot. This is a card of grave foolishness and greed. It can mean bribery and blackmail and all sorts of unpleasantness. Sometimes even simply naivety so grand that it sees no evil before it. It is a card of knowledge that the loss of your dignity and your morals can mean so much more than that. Beware, my friends.
Are there ways to steer away from such things?
You certainly should hope so, dear girl. But I am merely an interpreter of the cards. What you do with their knowledge is up to you. You do not tell you answers. I only tell you possibility.
What does... Do you know what that is in reference to? Anything specific or just...
Child, they are cards. They do not speak to me, and they do not tell me their secrets. They only show themselves that I may give them to you. If anyone knows the answers to these things, it is you. Do not ask the cards things that they cannot say.
Okay.
There's a good girl.
As Grokon stands up from the table, he will leave 5 of the giant inscripted gold coins on the table. And again, he will thank Honored Elder. Thank you again.
And she sticks what you could presume to be some sort of hard candy into her mouth. Always happy to help, my dear.
Hopefully we'll meet again, and if we do, perhaps I could get a reading myself then. I've always been a little curious. But she'll kind of give a bow and...
She watches you bow, like... Is that what they do around here? Weird.
Grokon will get Yuri strapped to the wagon.
By this time, the wagon's already fully loaded and packed. Things are set, so it should be fairly easy to just start. And, how was the reading?
Your arrival bears good omen.
Well, I could have told you that.
And beyond that, there may be more to our party than we're aware of. In a good way.
I don't need cards or the shadows to say that.
Never hurts to have the fates tell you again.
And I'll tell you myself. There's good favor about.
Let's hope you are true.
The darkness doesn't twist around you. You are safe.
But it could if you asked nicely.
Oh, I'm hoping to eventually get there with the rage powers I want to take for the group.
Show off that belt buckle, yo.
Please don't. Those hip gyrations. Unnerving.
Your seduction.
Language!
Stop seducing me. Stop seducing me.
I too have a button, but if I unbutton it, it's gonna be a problem, so I will not.
Spot has a button.
It's on her butt.
Yes.
Make it go whoop.
So Sakura asking if she could get a reading in the future. I'm like, sit down, fuck around and find out. Let's go.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, I'm half tempted to sit down and see what the heck get done.
That was the most uplifting hero card reading I've ever gotten.
It's probably because it was digital.
Not the real harrowing deck.
Fully aligned locksmith? Let's go.
Let's go.
Midwife in the future neutral? Future present? Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah, if you want to fuck around and find out, I can do more readings.
Hey, Dad.
Fuck it, I'll sit down.
Let's go.
Let's go.
I guess she's got like a hard game mouth, and she's like, "Oh, another version."
Dad, you're back.
And I brought the milk.
It's just gonna be a reference.
We are legit gonna play 32 hours and have one combat. That is a fact happening.
Yeah.
But a hero reading.
But a hero reading.
But a hero reading. I gave you something.
I'm gonna mute now. You all have a we'll
He cuts himself off.
Not even gonna finish it. Just y'all have a good time. Jake out. And just hits the back of his chair, and it just disappears off screen. Need to get him one with like electric, so he can just wheel himself out of there. Professor DMC, DMX, and y'all gonna make
DMX. That's a little too soon.
No, it's him as Professor X, and it's y'all gonna make me use my mind. I said that to Jake the other day. Love it.
Rip DMX. We love you, buddy.
Rip.
Anyways.
So you too have questions for the cards?
In a way.
What is your question? What is it you seek, dear?
Trying to think of how to word it.
The worst part of the hero reading when you have to answer that question.
Yeah.
Was like, what do you seek? What question do I want to ask? Wait, no, that wasn't my question.
Any knowledge of my past? How I came to be?
Interesting.
Because, yeah.
Yes, I see. Okay. I know what that is. And, I assume you're part of the four.
Yes, I am.
Understood. Interesting. So, your numbers, four amongst you. Interesting. I will not retell one since you've already heard the answer, but one amongst you is the keep.
What does that mean?
The keep. The keep is a symbol of quiet strength that can move when necessary. It indicates the need to stay the course, or do what is right, even if the toll is great.
Okay.
You also possess the public. Just down here. Which represents fellowship and camaraderie and refuge in times of need. The Cyclops has many findings, but many of his insights are relevant to the reading we currently are doing, or perhaps a quest you find yourself upon. Another amongst you is the owl, which represents the eternal wisdom of the natural order. Wolves will cull the injured deer, and while tragic for the deer, it is simply the things that must be done. The need of what holds binds life together, but us just easily picks it apart. And lastly, the carnival. It is the card of illusions and false dreams. It can heighten the power of the arcane, but depending on what forces influence you, can be extremely risky. It often represents for others unrealistic ambition. Oh. Yeah, I was trying to say I'm slow enough that you have a little time to write things down. Since I know you're taking
appreciate-
notes.
Yeah.
Big preach.
Big preach.
Oh, interesting. That's fucking interesting, even to me. Okay. So, she lays out the cards. And you're past the big sky. Here we go. This card represents great and powerful chains as the slaves throw off the shackles of tyranny. It may represent a momentous and powerful change in your own life that happened in your past. Followed by the juggler. Hi, Spottail. The juggler represents fate, gods, and those who are able to play with the destiny and fate of others. If the juggler can keep his rhythm, he will achieve great things. But should he falter, tragedy and failure may come to those whose lives he meddled in. Meddling.
You don't say.
You next possess the Mountain Man. He signifies an encounter with physical power outside your control. It could be an authority, army, a natural disaster, or even a desperately needed rainstorm upon the parched land. While acceding to the force might be wise, surviving it is paramount.
flips over the first present card and pauses. Says, "We'll come back to this one. This is very interesting and quite unusual." And it is the sickness. If you want to go ahead and write that down. If you're doing like,
Yes.
yeah, in order, I figured. So it's the sickness is the one she wants to come back to.
Okay.
After that, she has the eclipse. Yes. The eclipse represents self-doubt and loss of purpose. Particularly those with faith in the divine, their powers can wane under such stress. However, it can also simply indicate a loss of way along the path you seek and that which you travel.
What was that last part? I'm sorry.
Losing your way along the path.
Path. Okay.
Losing your way is the big thing there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can definitely kind of abridge these to like.
Yeah. I am.
This card means losing your way and shit and not knowing what to do.
It's what I'm doing.
But that's not as fun to say in this voice.
Yeah.
You also have the uprising in your present. The uprising representing being caught in the clutches of something much more powerful than yourself that can easily crush you in its great and mighty grasp. The crown specifically, which she taps on the card, the crown specifically tends to signify an overthrowing of a leader of some sort and placing a new one in its place. And now we return to the sickness. Interesting. The sickness in your case is both an opposite match and misaligned. Very unusual to have both. Generally speaking, the sickness represents plague, pestilence, famine, and other such bad things. It can also indicate corruption of the soul itself, or even a multitude of souls. However, in this case, being misaligned, it represents either great health, or perhaps the chance to stop such disaster from ever coming to be. Really liked that face, Cece. I love it when it resonates with players.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's working real well, huh?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And she says, "Oh, and interesting. Your future, all are partially aligned. This bodes well. First, we have the Hidden Truce, which symbolizes the ability to see past the obvious and the banal to a greater truth within. Sometimes this discovery may be esoteric. Sometimes literal, such as an item misplaced. But regardless, this card means the revealing of great and interesting secret.
A great and interesting secret. Got it.
And then you have the owl. Interesting because it's already in your deck, so to speak. The owl, as aforementioned, represents the wisdom of the natural order. And culling and such. We already went over that.
Mm-hmm.
And lastly, your final card is the Idiot. The Idiot, which is a card of great foolishness and greed, and blackmail, and bribery, and also general unpleasantness, usually of a political nature. But remember, as I told your friend, the card also represents that a loss of dignity can precede the loss of life itself.
do hope that reading resonated well with you, my friend. Certainly seems to echo in your bones.
Yeah, a little bit. Thank
Little
you.
bit. Little bit. Of course, of course.
And he'll lay down a few, 2 gold to her.
So nice around here.
I appreciate your wisdom
Of
and
course.
the cards.
Of course. Anyone else?
Yeah, I'll stand up.
I feel like this may be another.
Sakura will look around at the others to see how eager everyone's ready to go and how much time that they have with loading up and whatnot, to see if she has time.
Pats the table in front of her. Come on. I've seen you watching.
She'll nod and head over.
Now remember, this doesn't answer things straight. Take what resonates and leave behind the rest.
Okay.
Okay. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. What wisdom do you seek, my child?
She takes a moment and then she looks towards the others. I want to know how to get stronger so that I'm not a burden to others. I want to keep people safe.
Interesting. 4 of you. Interesting. Amongst your party is the Paladin. The Paladin who symbolizes standing strong in the face of adversity, who will not back down under any circumstance. Usually indicates some sort of need to stay the course and do what you know is right, even if it takes a heavy toll upon you. Be prepared to make sacrifices.
Okay.
You also have the beating. The beating signifies coming under attack from all sides, but it can also indicate the dissolution of the self mentally, whether that strength is of the flesh or of the mind. It dissolves under such relentless attack.
Okay.
So possess the keep. Keep of quiet strength, of moving only when necessary, yet stand firm through the greatest hardships. Those represented by the keep are not shaken by any force.
I like
And
that.
the uprising. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, no. I was just gonna say, I like that that came up in all 3 readings for members of the party.
Yeah, there's definitely some repetitive, thematic. And the uprising, being caught in the clutches of something much more powerful than the individual who is caught. However, it also represents overthrowing of a leader and replacing them with someone perhaps more capable and more full of strength themselves.
Okay.
Starts laying out the rest of the cards. Come on, do the cards. There we go. Interesting. First, you have misaligned in your past, the betrayal.
The betrayal is selfishness incarnate. Envy, which twists the spirit and leads ultimately to devastation. It also can represent a person whose natural charisma lies in evil, unpure, tainted heart.
Trying to bridge it, I write so slow. Good.
Next, you have the crows. They are a dangerous bunch, and they will take violently all that which is loved. And they appear in a reading. Murder, theft, and other shocking loss occurs. In this case, has occurred.
She'll look a little physical at that.
A partial match. For the mute hag.
Ooh, you said what?
The mute hag.
Okay.
The mute hag might be silent, but the eye she holds lets her see into the hearts of all men. She invokes blood pacts and poisonous secrets, the kind that turn brother against brother, son against father, and other such things. It's a card that most performers loathe, as it often represents stumbling over their own words and actions.
This is all in my past.
Mm-hmm. In your present, a true match for the midwife, a conduit of creation, though she does not create on her own. She lets new life and information into the world, and her heart can see the good in even the worst situations.
When she says that, she kind of smiles and kind of looks back towards the rest of the party.
Have a partial match in the theater. The theater is a card of true prophecy. Just as with a puppet act, we are all but the players, the prophet seeing and understanding the play, but with no control over it. You will have no influence on what she sees, and it is important, and its importance will often not be known until it is too late.
Okay.
The Mountain Man signifies an encounter with a physical power outside of your control. Could be an authority, an army, or a natural disaster. While acceding to it may be wise, your survival is the most important.
I have a feeling I know what that's about.
And in your future, a partial match misaligned. the Tyrant. The Tyrant indicates a ruler who is blight upon those who it rules. Sorry. Could indicate a monarch, an overseer, or simply the head of household. However, whoever they are, they do harm to those over whom they hold sway, whether they realize it or not. Misaligned as it is, it might show a tyrant revealed or even dethroned.
That's hopeful.
He then possessed the beating. Signifies coming from attack under all sides and the disillusion of the self, physically or mentally. Misaligned, the Paladin. Misaligned as it is, the course which the Paladin stands for and dedicates all to and even sacrifices to is entirely foolhardy and not a sacrifice worth taking. It is a waste and a failure.
You've given me a lot to think about.
Of course I have. That's what the cards do.
I won't lie when I'm a little worried about the future.
As you well should be. It is only natural. All mortals must worry of their futures, or else what else do we have to worry about?
I guess that's fair. I guess we all worry about it a little bit. Still, the future's not set in stone. These are things, like you said, that may be.
Mm-hmm.
But there's things in there that give me hope. So I'm gonna try. Be hopeful. Thank you. She'll dig in her pouch, pull out her 2 gold that she has left of her own personal stash. I know it's not much, but
It's plenty, thank you.
stay safe out there when you travel again.
Mm-hmm.
If you're heading east, there is a small settlement starting. They might not be able to offer you much, but if you need a place to rest, I'm sure that they'll. Well, they're still setting up. They're still very new.
Well, what inn or tavern should I look for then?
Oh, they don't even have a tavern yet. They've just started building.
Oh.
But
Not much of a stop then, is it?
no, but something to know about for in the future if you travel back this way again. In a few months' time, they will have something.
Perhaps next year when we come through then.
Be safe.
Anyone else? Anyone else before I pack up? I know there's only 4 of you. Do you want a reading or not, Boyle? You don't have to. I'm just saying, you're kind of the only one left.
It is a great appreciated offer, but I like the mystery.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
She tucks her cards back away in her shawl.
But if you do pass on by again, would love to have a conversation.
Okay.
Safe travels to you and your family.
And to you as well, may Desna light your way.
Appreciate it. And I bring the cart and horse to the gate. As you do.
As you do. And with 3 out of 4 of you going, shit, cards, man. What the fuck? Because that's generally the reaction after a reading of some sort. And your things packed and your cart ready to go. I think that might be a good place to stop for the night.
Mm-hmm.
Very good, very good. Glad that was fun. I know it was a little slow there at the end, but I hope Hera reading was fun anyway.
Yes.
Love them. Love them. Definitely some resonance going on. It's the touch.
I'm very confused about Socor's, but I think I know her past is referring to a little.
Oh, we can discuss it after session. I want to hear all your theories.
As much as we love you, Chad, we're very excited for you to go so we can talk about this.
Yeah, to be fair.
Whoa.
I will
So.
I will go and find somebody to raid.
Excellent.
For those of you who are still here, there is going to be some hosting tomorrow and Sunday for Greater Restoration. They're doing a charity stream.
Yes.
Because
come help out if you all want to watch D&D all day. We're having D&D all day Saturday and Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
It's going toward the Trevor Project to help LGBTQ plus people's lives. It's D&D almost 24/7. Not actually, but you know.
It's like D&D. There's like Call of Cthulhu.
There's a Call of Cthulhu. There's 5e. There's Vampire the Masquerade. There's Monster of the Week. There's a toddler heist game which has no classes but is really cool. I'm so excited to watch.
Guys, just a bunch of baby tieflings wandering around trying to get some stuff. Like
trying to get candy.
Go forth. Watch them with the little like pool noodles on their horns so they don't hurt themselves.
On top of all that, we're giving away so much things. There's a bunch of incentives, we have milestones set up for a lot of things, including other one shots and a lot of other chaos going on for us. So
yeah,
definitely
for sure.
check it out.
Like, I have been listening to these guys setting this up all week, late nights, working hard for this. So go and show them some appreciation for a good cause, y'all.
Yep. It's great. I definitely say, come by if you really like anything role play tabletop related. Go check them out.
Again, that is Greater Restoration for the Trevor Project. Look it up, take a look, enjoy yourself, have a good time, just like we did today.
Mm-hmm.
And it has been a great day. Things happened. Today was a sometimes. So thanks for being here for that sometimes. And as always, we're playing. Bye.